Hey! All right. Let's get things going here today. We are in your entrance slips to begin with. There we go. Review unit entrance slips. All right, lessons 1 through 5. We are in lesson number 4. All right. Here we are adding and we are subtracting with fractions. Again, your notes should be done. White packet, lesson number 4. Take a look at it. Go on, go on. Did you do it? If you did do your notes already, then we're ready to try some of these entrance problems. So the thing that we are keeping in mind here is that in order to add or subtract fractions, you need a common denominator, which means the bottom number needs to be the same. So when I look at question number 1 here, I see an 8 in my bottom number, and I see a 3 in my bottom number. Those are not the same numbers. Those are not common denominators, so we need to get some. So 1, we can just simply use our math facts of, hey, what's a number 8 can fit into and 3 can fit into? The other way of going about it is actually listing out the multiplication facts. So for example, you could list out 8, and then it would be 16, because 8 times 2 is 16. And then 8 times 3 is 24. So you list a few of them out, and then list out the other ones. 3, 6, 9, 12. All right, nothing's matched up so far. Again, counting by threes, my multiples. 15, no. 18, no. 21, no. 24. They're both in common. Now, this is not the efficient method for doing it. Way too much time, but it is something. Ooh. I just had one of those Big Cat bars. I think the wafer kind of got stuck in my throat a little bit there. All right, I'm okay. Okay, so back to it. The 24. Yeah, not the most efficient method here, but it does get the job done. So if you need to go to that, go to it sometimes. But again, not a requirement. Would much rather you simply use your multiplication facts, or in a worst case scenario, not the recommended technique, but you could always multiply them together, and 8 times 3 is 24. So again, we're going to see in other problems why we don't want to do that, but sometimes it's all you're left with. So the big thing that's going on here is because we've got new numerators, we've got to get, we've got new denominators. Woo, denominator, bottom number. Because we got new denominators, we need new numerators. So to do that, as you saw, I like connect my denominators together. And what do you multiply 8 by to get to 24? Well, 3. So because we're multiplying by 3, and remember that dot is your multiplication, that's why we're going to multiply that number by 3. So 5 times 3, 15. We'll come across the other side. What do you multiply 3 by to get to 24? Well, 8. 3 times 8 is 24. So now I know what to multiply the top number by. 1 times 8, that's an 8. So now I can add my fractions. 15 24ths plus 8 24ths. So remember, we add the numerators and we leave the denominators alone. 23 24ths, and we've got ourselves there. All right, let's look at question number 2. Now, in question number 2, these are mixed numbers. So we just ignore the whole numbers right now. Ignore that 2. Ignore that 3. We're going to focus on 4/5 and 1/10. And what I'm looking for is well, what's the number that 5 and 10 can both fit into? So you're always going to grab the larger number, and then it always has to be that size or bigger. So if we think about this, we can actually get them both to fit into 10. Now, if we were multiplying it together, we would get 50. We get bigger numbers, and we have more simplifying. So we don't encourage that. But sometimes, if you're stuck, then you do that. So let's check it out. Denominators. What do you multiply 5 by to get to 10? That's a 2. So 4 times 2, hello, 8. Come on over to the other side. It didn't change. So if it doesn't change, your top number is not going to change. And here's why. What do you multiply 10 by to get to 10? So 1 times 1, yeah, that's a 1 that's there. So we can add 8 tenths plus 1 tenth, hello, 9 tenths. And then add your whole numbers of the 2 and the 3, and you get 5. So 5 and 9 tenths shows over. We're done with that one. If I didn't use 10 and I used 50, bigger numbers, and we'd have to simplify, which I'd rather stay away from. Question number 3 is subtraction. Same rules, except we'll subtract them. Common denominator. So what's a number that 9 and 3 can both fit into? All right. Yeah, it's 9. It's 9 because what do you multiply 9 by to get to 9? Well, 1. 7 times 1, there's your 7. Come to the other side, what do you multiply 3 by to get to 9? Well, multiply it by 3. So that's what you'll multiply your numerator by. 1 times 3 is 3. There you go. And now we're ready to subtract. 7 ninths minus 3 ninths, 4 ninths. We're done. Show is over. All right. So we need common denominators. We're going to have to get new numerators. All right. And then we can finally do our addition or our subtraction. All right. Jump on into that classwork, people. You are ready to go.